Greetings, family, friends. This is a short video about black American men and Ghanaian women, African women in general, Ghanaian specifically, and to a lesser extent about black American women and Ghanaian men. So somebody asked me to talk about that. So what I want to say when it comes to black American men and Ghanaian women in Ghana anyway, and in Africa, it's really something that's pretty nice. In fact, that's why a lot of us go. You know, that's one of the things that keeps us coming. The women, they're different in Africa. They have a different spirit. I went to school with a sister from Nigeria almost 20 years ago, and I had never been to Africa. And she just was very revealing, telling me and sharing with me a lot of things. And she said in Africa, the man is God, in the family especially, but in the society. And that's different from what we experience here as black Americans, men particularly. We don't get the kind of attention and deference paid that other men get. So it's true, it's like that in Africa. The man is kind of like God. So the women they're different in the sense that they give you a little bit more leeway, let you be a man, let you make mistakes, let you be the head of the household, not as contentious, not as challenging about day-to-day activities and decisions that are made for the most part. When it comes to African women, the Ghanaian women, African women in general, in fact, you can tell that they're the mother of civilization when you study the body type. All the African women that I've seen in Ghana, most of them, almost to a person, real strong bodies, whether they're big, and most of them are not, they don't have much obesity there like they have here in the U.S. Most of the women have real wonderful body types, and especially from the hip area on down, but really from the top of the head to the soles of their feet. You can see the strength in the bodies, and the backside is always present. It's just a fact of nature. And it is different from other people. I watched a lot of people, especially Asian people, up close and in person. That African body type is supreme. It really is amongst the women. And they're beautiful people. You know, some are on the physical scale, on the beauty scale, higher and lower than others, just like here and everywhere else. What you represent, what makes it really is easy to have relationships. People are available, the women are available, they're accessible. And when they see American men or European men and men from outside the country, generally speaking, they're thinking opportunity, to be honest. Money. You know, it boils down to what can you do for me? They don't put it in your face like that, but that's how they see it. Almost like a lottery ticket. You know, the first time I went, I felt like James Brown and Michael Jackson all rolled up into one from the attention I got from people, period, and women included. So they see you as an opportunity. They see you as somebody who can make their future and their present better, more comfortable. You might be able to take them, or you might want to bring them to the U.S. They may want to come. A lot of them do. You don't have to. You can stay there. If you stay there, you may build a house that they can inherit or be a part of or live within you. If they're in business, you can help them increase their business. If they're not in business, you can put them in business, and it won't cost that much money. Family needs and responsibilities that come with brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, uncles, aunts, and all that. How far you go into that is your business and your call, but you know, people need help and want help oftentimes if they're not from an elite family, and that's part of the attraction. Even men in Ghana anyway, Ghanaian men, even poor ones, even ones that are struggling every day like everybody else, their wife or their girlfriend or both sometimes expect them to give them chop money. They call it chop, C-H-O-P, chop money, daily, just for necessities, washing clothes or you know, something to eat, or just change in their pocket or whatever. They expect that, and they expect the same from you. Chop money, little money for this, little money for that. Africa, they do multiple wives, and it's not just Muslims. Some men have 2 or 3 wives, depending on their finances and their money, what they can afford. Some of the women are open for it, some of them are not. Most of them will accept it. You have money, resources, and wealth, and you bring opportunity into their life. Not many would turn away from it. What else can I tell you? Older men and younger women. I've heard stories of Ghanaian African men as well as black American men living in Ghana as old as 80 years old with 18-year-old wives. That's an extreme case, and it's not common, but it does happen. And usually that 18-year-old is the third or the fourth wife, and that she's just attaching herself to a successful family unit for benefits. You know, the man won't live forever, and hopefully she'll get something out of the deal when he's gone and get something while he's here. But in terms of polygamy, whether they're Christian, Muslim, or animist, what they call animist, traditional religion, some of them practice polygamy. It's not that unusual. Promiscuousness is part of life, and it includes African life and women and men. Women just like men. You know, you get a good one, you have a good one. Sometimes you have one that's not so good in terms of loyalty. It's part of it, just like it is here. It's a lot of sneaking around and going on in Africa. A lot of tricky stuff going on, and that's just the nature of the environment, and I don't know if you can get around that at all. So you just have to be aware of those things. Let me see, looking for the Ghana spirit, different opportunity. So that's kind of what it is, you know, the chop money and the money that it takes. It's not a whole lot. They are very receptive to black American men and other men too, but us in particularly, you know, you wouldn't have a hard time. That's our family over there. They're our sister, them are our brothers, and it should be natural. Even though there's a cultural divide, it's not much of a language problem. And if they like you, just like here. Different things, there reasons why they're attracted to you. But it's definitely not a hindrance, and it's really easier for me and for people that I know, men especially, to have relationships there. Oftentimes easier there than it is here. And that's the truth. Now for black women in America and going there and having relationships, I won't go too deep into that. I don't want to be off putting a negative, but it's more challenging, I think, for women because women are used to being the boss here, especially black women. And in Africa, that's not the case. And men are not used to being bossed around, told what to do, or having decisions made without consulting them or on equal terms and equal footing. Now, what the American women have, the advantage that they have is that they come represent the same thing that the men come represent: money, wealth, power, and prestige. And you'll find African men who will submit themselves to a little bit more authority than they're accustomed to having from a woman, based on the fact that they're going to get something material gain out of it. And that's the real deal. You may find something just like you for you and want to be with it, but it's just like here. If it's a millionaire in this environment, you know, ball player, athlete, business person, inheritor of wealth or whatever, you know, and you're with a person who don't have nearly as much as you have, you never know really if they're with you strictly because they love you, they like you, they're attracted to you, or if the money is the overriding decision. That's just something that people with wealth and money, power and prestige have to face up and deal with, and I'm sure they do here too. But here they move in their own circles. A lot of them have money, wealth, power, and prestige, and they associate with like and kind. But when you go to Africa, most don't have it. Some do. They got a lot more than what you have and could ever imagine. But not everybody. A lot of them are poor. And you come representing just the opposite, so that's always going to be a part of it. Is she with me because of the money, the wealth, the power? Probably so. At least that's part of the reason. And you just adjust to it and deal with it. And try to maintain a proper relationship, you know, make her respect you as a man, you know, and don't treat you any old kind of way, which most of them won't. They'll be very, very respectful, at least on the surface, more so than he is. Anyway, that's kind of my take on black men and African women, Ghanaian women in particular, in Ghana. So, you know, it's just like people go to other countries and they fall in love with the women. A lot of the black American men go to Africa, and because the spirit is different, they're really attracted to it. It's more kind of a femininity and let you be the man kind of thing that we seem to really like. So that's my take. I'll be making more videos later. Stay tuned.